In this week's markets update, further optimism about an improvement in global growth has helped equity markets around the world to fresh record highs. A noticeable pickup in Eurozone manufacturing, with the PMI jobs reading hitting a fresh record high, was one piece of data that markets jumped on last night, and a 253,000 rise in US private payrolls from ADP was another. Finally, a surprise pickup in the US Institute of Supply Management ISM report also helped market sentiment last night. Contrast all this with a much less upbeat mood in Asia, with metals markets dropping noticeably on the return of China from a two-day holiday at the beginning of this week. This time last week, iron ore was still above $60. Last night, it dropped below $56. Iron ore futures on the Dalian exchange have dropped by about 25 RMB per tonne in the last week, hitting lows back to September of last year. There's a keen sense that the aggressive tightening in financial conditions instigated by the regulator in China in recent months will have an impact on economic activity. This seems to have been a factor weighing on iron ore in the last couple of weeks. To be sure, other factors, including record high inventory at ports and increased speculative activity, will have been drivers as well. All this has weighed on sentiment towards the Australian dollar this last week. A week ago, we were trading just above 75 cents. Last night, we fell below 74 cents, the worst performing G10 currency over that period. And we expect this weakness to continue into next week too. Partials for next week's Q1 GDP outcome in Australia have been weak, and Westpac has shaved its forecast to an underwhelming 0.4. Next week's calendar is fraught with risk events. Locally, we have a number of additional partials for Q1 GDP on Monday and Tuesday, including balance of payments data on Tuesday. Same day, we also have the RBA policy decision, where no change in policy rates is expected. Wednesday brings that all-important Q1 growth update, and Thursday we have trade data for the month of April, and that will have been impacted by Tropical Cyclone Debbie. Thursday next week is a heavy day in terms of global risk events. The ECB meets in Estonia, and ECB President Draghi will update staff forecasts. Financial markets will be very closely watching for any guidance on the ECB's asset purchase programme beyond the end of this year. In the UK, Prime Minister Theresa May goes to the polls on Thursday, and finally in the US, former FBI head Comey testifies in front of the Senate Intelligence Committee on Thursday too. These are all factors we will be talking about in next week's Markets Update.